Well, the new Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, has been released on Disney Plus. So far, we are 2 episodes in. And I just wanted to, being a Star Wars fan, talk about it a little bit. When I first heard they were making this series, I have to admit I was a little bit reserved, given some of the more recent entries in the Star Wars franchise, especially since Disney has taken over. I've kind of had some mixed reviews. The Force Awakens I liked. Rogue One I loved. I thought that was fantastic. That's a film that gets better with each viewing that I see. The Last Jedi, I had some parts of it that I liked and some parts of it that I didn't like. And Solo, to me, was simply forgettable. It's a film I feel that should not have been made at all. So when I heard The Mandalorian was being filmed, I was a little reserved, and also at the same time a little bit excited because this was a new form of medium for the Star Wars franchise, because now we're going from the big screen to the small screen. So I think in that way you could be losing some of its grandeur of it being presented in the cinema. But at the same time, I think from a creative standpoint, I think you have more freedom to make a story with, I think, deeper characters, and it gives you time to kind of progress in their growth. The main character, I first thought was a little kind of hard to get behind, because the main thing, you couldn't see his face, and for me facial expressions are quite important when you see a character and you kind of grow with them. But I would say by the second episode it's starting to roll a little bit. I like the fan service. I'm not going to go into any of the spoilers of this. I'm sure you'll get plenty of that online. But overall, I thought I liked the atmosphere, the fact that they're kind of keeping it very simplistic. They're not going too elaborate as far as the mythos about the prophecy of the chosen one and so forth and so on. This is what I liked about the original Star Wars trilogy. You kind of had that magical mysticism, but at the same time, it was a very tight central story. It was just really around this small group of characters. It didn't really go much beyond that. And then the prequels turned this whole thing with Darth Vader into a prophecy that he was the chosen one. And this new series right now, I have no idea where it's going. The Force Awakens asks questions. The Last Jedi answer those questions by asking more questions. And now we have The Rise of Skywalker that's coming out next month. So not to divert too far from the point of my video, but for The Mandalorian, I like how they kind of keep it very simple. It's a very, very grounded, very basic. It's almost like one reviewer described it as kind of a Western type style, and I agree with that. I think that's a very, very good analogy. And certainly with the being on television, there's a lot more ability to really show creatively how these characters can grow and do it at an extended pace and just have them grow in segments. So for that, I am very, very, very pleased so far with The Mandalorian. I'm not saying I'm ecstatic about it yet. We'll just have to see how it develops as they continue, and hopefully the good writing and good direction and lack of corporate input will keep the fans happy. So that's my immediate take on it. So we'll see how this thing goes. So far, so good. I'll give it a thumbs up so far.